Rome was not built in a day. I'm sure you've heard that expression, and I suppose that it started way back when the Roman Empire was at its heyday. I mean, you realize that's about 2,000 years ago, right? So for 2,000 years, people have been walking around saying, hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, what does that phrase mean? Well, I'm always looking for ways to encourage people because you know what I've discovered is that life is hard. Life is not easy. When I read biographies, when I listen to podcasts, when I listen to the stories of successful people, what I hear is that it was hard, it was difficult, it took a long time, there was a grind, there were trials, there was risk and failure. I learned what some might call a lot of negativity. I learned that there is a struggle to life. And so I'm always looking for that saying or a phrase or a motto that'll help keep me going, especially when things aren't going my way, especially when maybe you didn't close the deal, maybe you lost an account, maybe your income just got drastically reduced. Whatever the case may be, you're just kind of, at a low point and you're looking for some type of encouragement. And I want to put this picture into your mind. I want to paint a picture. And that picture is Rome was not built in a day. See, it took time for the Roman Empire to grow and to expand and to become the powerhouse that it was. It actually took hundreds of years for Rome to reach its peak in its military power, its geographical footprint, its political and spiritual development, its archaeological innovation, and ultimately its global influence. In fact, there's still a global influence to this day. But it also took a long time for Rome to lose its influence, to decay and to fall apart. See, there's no quick path or shortcut to success, but on the flip side, it's also hard to tear something down that is built on a solid foundation, that's built over a long period of sustained, proven success. And so that's really the type of success that we want. We don't want, some type of get-rich-quick scheme that, it's here one day and gone tomorrow. That's why a lot of companies that are able to just kind of reform or reshape themselves can go from product A to product B because ultimately they know how to work. They know how to work hard. They have a solid foundation. They understand how to work a plan. They understand how to sell. They understand how to put the infrastructure behind the company despite what the product is that they're building, creating, or selling. And so when we think about Rome not being built in a day, I think of four key elements. First, I think it's a slow go. It's a slow go. Number two, I think no excuses. There are no excuses. Number three, I consider find your will. And then finally, number four, don't get sick of the grind. Don't get sick of the grind. So the first element here that we see is it's a slow go. Again, things don't usually fall apart quickly. At first, it's a slow process, a little here, a little there, that things may wear you down over time, but your discipline, your good habits will keep you solid. Success and failure are both generally slow processes, believe it or not. They slowly build up and they gradually tear down. So you need to learn how to pay attention. And a lot of times it's easier to pay attention when you slow down. Remember, every second turns into a minute, into a day, into years. So every second counts. And you're either building up or you're decaying. You're either gaining or you're slowly losing. But make no mistake, what's happening in your business, what's happening in your personal life is probably a slow drip. It's probably that frog that's in the boiling pot of water, and by the time you realize that you're being literally cooked to death, it's too late. And so the good thing about that is that you don't have to turn your business around today. In fact, it's just not going to work that way. It's going to be a slow go, but if you do things the right way, if you put in place the proper structure, the proper foundation, the proper models, if you develop a real strategic growth plan, then you'll probably ultimately end up succeeding, and it'll be way more difficult for you to get torn down. Number 2, stop making excuses. Listen, there are no excuses. Just think about this, accept this. All excuses are lies. All excuses are lies. Jocko Willink, the ex Navy SEAL, he says this in a podcast. They're lies to yourself, and so don't lie to yourself. You think you don't have time? You know what? That's a lie. You do have time. You don't think you have support? You know what? That's a lie. There is somebody out there that will support you. You don't have the right equipment or tools? You know what? That's a lie. You can make it through without the right equipment or tools, or figure out a way to get the right equipment or tools. You don't know the best way? You know what? That's a lie. Figure it out. Go find somebody. You're too young or too old? That's a lie. Recognize excuses are just not valid. Why? Because it doesn't matter. Right now, as I'm recording this, we're going through one of maybe the most difficult time in the history of America, the coronavirus, where literally local governments are telling business owners, you may not conduct business, you must stay home. They're literally taking away the ability for people to make an income. And so you would say, well, wait a minute, that's not a lie. There is a virus, there is a pandemic, there is a state mandate. But you know what? Allowing this to make you fail, that's a lie. It's a lie that COVID-19 and the ripple effect that it has is going to cause you to fail. The fact is, there's going to be so many people that come out of this smelling like a rose and actually doing well because of it. Well, why not you? And so just don't allow your trials, hardships, real or not real. And I'm not saying that we're not going to have trials. We will. In fact, I promise you that there will be trials. But don't make excuses. Find your will. Find your will. Look, the truth shall set you free. Truth will deliver you from procrastination and a downward spiral and a lack of discipline. Look, you have the skill. You can find the support. So what you need to do is learn to discipline yourself. Discipline is freedom. Discipline is the ultimate freedom. If you discipline yourself to doing better, if you discipline yourself to working harder, working longer, working smarter, if that's your will, then, and if you have the willpower to discipline yourself on a daily basis to improving and getting better, then you will be successful. Listen, there's no miracles. There are no tricks. There's no easy paths. When we say find your will, it's like, look, it's a campaign. Your will is your desire. So create a campaign against weakness and laziness and obstacles and anything that gets in your way, excuses. It's the discipline, the will of hard work and dedication that will allow you to keep going forward. Now, finally, some people, they get sick of the grind. But you know what? You have to learn to embrace the grind. You have to learn to stay up late and get up early. Grind. You have to Again, find your will through the process of grinding. When you're tired or in a rut, get up anyways. It's one more, do one more, whatever that means. One more phone call. One more, dig one more ditch, sell one more item. Don't go home until you do one more. Sometimes it's like, man, I'm just going through the motions. You know what? Go through the motions. You don't want to get up or work out, read or, make the call, hammer in the project. You know what? Just do it anyway. Go through the motions. Get up, get out of bed, get it done, eat the frog, handle the hardest things first, and you'll be successful. You'll win. There might be signals of fatigue. You might be, getting tired. But don't give in to the immediate gratification of that whispering voice that says, just shut it down. Just stay in bed a little bit longer. Just don't go to work today. Just don't put in the effort. You know what? Don't listen. Instead, just do it. Just get to the grind, get the things done, and you know what? Rest tomorrow. But understand this. Look, Rome wasn't built in a day. When you look at greatness, I don't care what, maybe it's a sports organization, maybe it's a business, maybe it's a person. Just realize it was not built in one day. It takes time. And so you can start that brick by brick process and path, Kaizen, small continuous steps. And if you do, then you will be living the reality that Rome was not built in a day in your own personal life.